All right, guys, we got some big breaking news. News that is so big that I'm currently recording in the kitchen of the studio. Okay, so Axios is reporting that Fox News and Tucker Carlson have parted ways. That is their language, not mine. I would probably feel comfortable using the language that his ass was fired. So they say Fox News on Monday said the network and its star primetime host Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways after more than a decade. Carlson's last program was Friday, April 21st. Fox News said, meaning Carlson did not get a chance to sign off to his viewers. That's a pretty big piece of context there, because it shows you this was not amicable. This was, they were pissed. They were pissed. This is an abrupt ending to the show. The news comes days after Fox News reached a historic 11th hour settlement with Dominion Voting Systems for over $787 million. Then they go on to say Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 p.m. starting this evening as an interim show helmed by rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. The network said it thanked Carlson, quote, for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. Okay, so what do we know about this? Well, officially, the answer is not much. We don't know that much. But my speculation is that this has to do not only with the Dominion case, but also with the Smartmatic case. Because, you know, him and Hannity and Laura Ingraham have already cost the company $787 million. Smartmatic is now saying they're not going to settle for anything less than that $787 million and a full, like, retraction and apology. They were able to get away with like a semi-apology, admitting to wrongdoing with Dominion. Smartmatic says they're going to draw an even harder line. So look, the company, that's a big hit to any company. That's a giant hit. And so maybe they got to pinch their pennies a little bit. Maybe they felt like, in his case in particular, the evidence was damning that Dominion, but now Smartmatic, could probably prove actual malice in terms of not only were they pushing the rigged election lie, but also with Tucker, we know he didn't believe it. He thought it was total BS, but he still went on air and pushed it anyway. That's pretty damning. When you have text messages that have Tucker Carlson saying, I hate Donald Trump with a burning passion. You have him saying, like, all this stuff isn't true, it's ridiculous. And then you have him going out there and feeding that slop to the audience because he feels like that's what they want to hear. And so he's clearly audience captured. I mean, look, as the old saying goes, it's like he flew a little too close to the sun. It was proven that he was totally two-faced. He was a liar on the air. He would say the opposite off air in text messages with the others. And some people might say, well, why him, but not Laura Ingraham, not Sean Hannity? And honestly, I think the answer could be, or Jeanine Pirro, for example, she was one of the worst. There's just more evidence that he had a public position and a private position than the other ones. I mean, there's evidence the other ones did too, but I think for him it was very over the top. It was very clear that he had a public position and a private position. And with the others, like with Jeanine Pirro, you could honestly make the argument that she may have actually come to believe the Stop the Steal rigged election nonsense, which might not sound like much of a defense, but it kind of is a defense in the court of law. Because it's like, I'm saying these things because I believe them to be true. So then you can't prove that, you know, the defamation was intentional and there was malice there and the whole point was to hurt the reputation of the company. If you say, look, I really believed it. I really believed every angle of it. Whereas with Tucker, it's very clear he didn't believe it. He knew it wasn't true. And he still pushed the narrative anyway. So look, this story's new. We just got it. I'll definitely keep my eye out to see any kind of updates that we might get, because, you know, I get a hunch that we don't know everything that's going on in this scenario. Like, yeah, it's likely it has a lot to do with the Dominion case, a lot to do with the Smartmatic case, a lot to do with the leaked text messages. That's likely, but at the same time, there might be some things we don't know. There might be some things behind the scenes that are going to come out eventually, which are even more damning. And Fox News decided, look, let's cut our losses now. Let's dump him now. Because think about it. His ratings are some of the best ratings of any of the hosts. In fact, maybe the #1 ratings of all the hosts. So there's got to be to them a very compelling reason why we have to let go of them. You know, maybe behind the scenes they were facing a colossal advertiser boycott after this Dominion case, and with the Smartmatic one coming up, and then you have advertisers saying, look, if you don't get rid of him, we're going to cut off your funding. That could also scare him away from doing it. And remember, he's also catered to the fringe extremists quite a bit. You know, there was that big story about how he had an open white nationalist who was like his top producer on the show or something. Nobody even talks about that. Nobody batted an eyelash. But that's a big deal, man. Like, just out and out, complete and utter extremism. And he flew a little too close to the sun. He was playing footsie with the craziest people in the country, and it looks like it's coming back to bite him in the ass. So, again, we'll get more information on it as it comes out. There's probably stuff about the story we don't know. But Tucker Carlson, don't get it twisted. I don't care what Orwellian language they use. He was fired from Fox News. And my best guess is it has to do with the Dominion case and the Smartmatic case and those text messages, but maybe there's something we don't know, but we probably will know it soon. So this is huge, huge, huge news. And honestly, I don't think whoever they find to replace him is going to get as good of ratings. He became the master of, like, you know, the dog whistling to the far right, and really playing up the extremism while pretending he's not extreme. And he had very high ratings, and now, again, whoever replaces him probably won't replicate that. And I think Fox News will struggle to find people who can get even close to it, but clearly there's something else at play here, and they felt like they had to do it, so they did it. So Tucker Carlson out at Fox News, kicked out quickly, did not get to say goodbye to his audience. Huge, huge story.